What's going on, everyone? Tylerriley with River Valley Realty here in Russellville, Arkansas. If you are new to this channel, we are going to be covering all things real estate, and in this video, we are going to be covering the 6 things you gotta know when moving to Russellville. The number one thing that you're going to want to do when thinking of Russellville as your forever home is visit the area. Russellville is so different with what we have. You know, you can get a home on the lake. You can get a home in the middle of town. You can get a home outside in a neighborhood that was developed from a cow field. I mean, there are tons of options when you pick out your home. Russellville's elementary schools, so if you got a young child, you really got to pay attention to where that home is located, because that's going to determine the school that your child goes to. While Russellville is school choice, you can submit an application to go to whatever elementary school in Russellville. The first come, first serve is kind of the people who are zoned there, and then any vacancy spots that school may have, they'll open it up to whoever they have applications to transfer to that elementary school. So we want to look at that. We want to make sure we can find you a home in the elementary school that you choose, a location based off of what you prefer, and really find out that home that you've selected is going to fit your needs entirely. The second thing that we are going to talk about is the weather. You got to know the weather of the place that you're going to move to. So what you're going to find out in Russellville is we typically have all 4 seasons. Summer's going to be hot and humid. Of course, you're going to hear a lot about Arkansas humidity. The summer high is going to be around 93 degrees. Winter lows are going to be around 29 degrees. We expect to get, on average, about 50 inches of rain per year. The U.S. average on rainfall is 38, so it's going to rain here a little bit more than it does across the U.S. Snow, right? Take 2021 out of it. We had an amazing snowstorm that went on for like a week. Typically, we get about 3 inches of snow. The U.S. average on snow is about 28 inches, and sunny days. 223 sunny days on average here in Russellville, Arkansas. The average across the U.S. is around 205. So we're going to have more sunny days here in Russellville, Arkansas than what you're going to see across the U.S. average. Overall, you're going to have spring days that are really great, fall days that are really great, summers that are hot, and winters that are cold and wet. The number 3 thing that we're going to talk about today in this video is what is transit like in Russellville? How do people get from point A to point B? And here's the breakdown of it. We have 3 taxi services within Russellville that can pretty much get you anywhere you need to go. We don't have public transit places like buses or subways or anything like that. We do have a Greyhound that has like a major stop here in Russellville, but that's kind of like long distance journeys. They don't run around the city taking you places. So Ubers are another thing we get asked a lot about. We have drivers that are on Uber. I think when I looked right before this video, there was like 2 Uber drivers that were in the area. So that's an option, Now, they're not always available. Just if they flip the on button, then they go. But a vehicle is probably recommended, especially if you're one of those people that's always on the go, needs to get somewhere where they need to be when they need to be there. Then you're probably really going to want to look at what it's going to cost to maintain a vehicle if you move here to Russellville, Arkansas. The 4th thing that we're going to talk about is restaurant and nightlife. I ask myself this question all the time. anytime we go somewhere new, whether it's on vacation or regardless of what brings us to the area, man, I'm automatically Googling places that I can eat. I love to eat when we go out and about. It's one of my favorite parts about traveling. And Russellville has great restaurants that you can enjoy. We have some of the great soul food places that you're going to find. They'll basically deep fry anything for you. We've got great barbecue that's in the area. I can think of like 3 places that are absolutely amazing here in Russellville for barbecue. Then kind of fast forward to one of my family's favorite restaurants, Brangus. We absolutely love Brangus. It's a complete family atmosphere, great food. Every time we've been there, they've gotten it right, which makes a huge difference. We're going to have a lot of the bigger chain restaurants that you're going to see with like the Sumo's Japanese steakhouses. That's kind of like a hibachi grill where they cook the food there in front of you. We're going to have like a Cracker Barrel, honorable mention to Waffle House and Denny's. Then we're also going to have Chili's and all your fast food restaurants like a Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Taco John's and Taco Bell. So we've got tons of options, and I'll have to go back, but I just need to make sure I mentioned Mexican food. We got it going on with some Mexican food around here. Whether you get it from a truck or you get it from a restaurant, regardless of it, it's all great. And so maybe that's just my love of Mexican food coming out in this video as well. But man, we really do have great options for restaurants. Nightlife, I've done some other videos on this, but just in case you haven't had a chance to see that yet, it's important to know that we have just a few clubs that are here in Russellville and in the area. One's like the Darnell Club, and then the others, the DC, and those are places that you could go, you know. But as far as like a whole slew of a whole street that is dedicated to late night life, and that's not in Russellville. The 5th thing that you're going to want to know about moving to Russellville is what kind of employment opportunities are in the area. And this is great news for you, especially if you are moving a spouse that doesn't have a job. We have great employment opportunities here in Russellville. We have a ton of manufacturing facilities in Russellville. Some of the biggest manufacturing facilities for big companies like ConAgra. You know, we have Tabor, we have Rockline, Americold, Molly, Dow, Bemis, Tyson, just to name a few of the manufacturing facilities that we just have in this area. Russellville also has a nuclear power plant in the city, so that's one of the area's largest employers. We have Arkansas Tech University, which is the 3rd largest university in Arkansas. That is another huge employer in the area. And we're going to have all those traditional service industry positions, the things that you'll find with retail jobs, you know, restaurant working in hotels or hospitality fields. So there is a bunch of avenues for everything for work life here in Russellville. The 6th thing you're going to want to know about moving to Russellville, Arkansas is what is there to do in the town. And honestly, man, we don't really have much trouble figuring out how we want to kill a Saturday or what we want to do, because, you know, we can run to town and do some shopping and those kind of things, or we have all the traditional stuff that you're going to see with like a skating rink, a bowling alley, and a movie theater. But really, what makes Russellville really special is Arkansas is known as the natural state. Well, you can have a really natural life here in Russellville. We have tons of connected bike trails, tons of places you can go and ride your bike. And then we have tons of things that you can go for hiking with. You know, of course, we're on a lake, so you can get a bass boat or a pontoon boat. We have some of the best bass fishing in the nation. In fact, it's a lot of pros come here, and we have a lot of pro bass fishing tournaments in the area. So outside life is one of the greatest things, and if you haven't seen any of the other videos, you gotta take a second and look at some of the parks that we've showcased with Mount Nebo, Mount Magazine, Mount Pettigene, because we've done some videos on that, and those places are absolutely amazing. We've been there probably, I don't know, man, 50 to 100 times. We've been there a lot. And I never get tired of it because it feels like anytime we go, it's a new experience because it's on a different day. And really, Arkansas's the best thing about Russellville is it really makes you feel like you're living in the natural state with all the stuff that nature has around us. I wanted to just get this video out there because a lot of it is the things that I'd want to know when I was going to a new area. If you had questions, a lot of the videos, and maybe I can slide one up here about one of the parks or something that we visited, maybe more details about top things to do in Russellville. But man, those are the things that I'd want to know if I was moving to Russellville. And if you find out you're moving to Russellville, man, you got to give me a call. You can text, you can email, whichever way works for you. I promise you it's going to work for me. And then that way we can work through any and all of your questions that you have about life in Russellville in real time.